All right, everyone. Good morning. Happy Sunday. I hope everyone's enjoying their weekend to this point. And we gonna do a little. We gonna talk some sports today. I will be moderating today. I got my co-hosts all here: R&B, Raja Anthony Ali, and Coach Will. How's everyone doing this morning?
Good,
Man, I'm
doing good.
doing
Feeling
good,
good. Happy
man.
to be here.
Fired up. Fired up. Let's go.
All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's everyone's mental health at today?
I'll go first. I'll say probably 8. I got enough rest. You know what I'm saying? I've been able to get my mind together this week, so I will definitely go with an 8.
Okay.
I'm gonna say,
I'll come
I'm
behind
gonna,
Raj. Go ahead, go ahead.
no, go ahead. You got it, bro.
I'll probably say I'm somewhere around about a 6.5. I'd say. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot going on, but you know, y'all kind of can tell my mentality. Yeah, we gotta power through it.
That's it. That's
So
it.
That's
I
it.
feel good. I'm here. I got a chance to power through. So I gotta appreciate that.
I'm at about a 6. Um, had a good couple of days of work. Got to, um, you know, help with some dope functions. One of my coworkers, she had her baby shower. And we got to support her and her family. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the dope things about my job. Sometimes it's like getting paid to be at the family reunion or the cookout. You know what I'm saying? So had
Mhm.
a couple of good experiences last couple of days at work, which was dope. Um, and again, as always, happy to be here with you fellas. You know what I'm saying, in this space and in this place. So
That's what's
Absolutely.
up.
I I would say I'm about a 7. Um, I just started revamping Honest Hour. Uh, it is and now like like I recorded 3 episodes, and now the schedule is already going into May, scheduling people to have a conversation. So as quick as I started is as quick as it takes off. So
That's what's up,
got
bro.
some things planned this year. So we're gonna see what happens with that. But today we talking NBA. We talking the NBA. And we starting off with a rule that me and R&B do not exactly agree with.
hey, it was live in the thread, man.
Oh yeah. The 65 game rule. Now, we all know that you have to be eligible to play. You have to be play 65 games to win awards, be eligible for first teams, and all of those things.
Mhm.
Adam Silver has come in and has tried to make the league more competitive, right?
Mhm.
Now, I'm not mad at this rule. I don't think the rule is bad. I just think it needs a little more substance. If you go down with an injury and you're injured, right?
Mhm.
That's one thing. This rule should be more for players who are being rested. Now, if you're resting, if you have an injury and you're resting, right? Like Kawhi made resting a thing a few years ago because he was always resting. Like he had no injury, he was just resting. To me, that's the issue at hand that caused this rule, not injuries. Now, if you're hurt half the season, you should be ineligible. If you play 60 games and you miss 22, that should make you ineligible. The big thing is Cade Cunningham right now is on pace to be the MVP in many minds. I don't have a problem with him winning. I have a problem with if every other player is ineligible, that it becomes a participation award, which to me meaning and to me meaning okay, it's default. Like, yeah, you won, but did you win? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's just like all the competition's gone, so he just gets handed this award. I don't think that's fair either. Especially if you miss it by 1, 2, 3 games. I don't have an issue with that portion. It's just I don't think any player should just be handed an award because it feels like a participation award. Not like I went out there and won. I beat the best of the best. No, this guy was injured 22 games, so I won. That guy was injured 30 games, so I won. That guy was injured half the season, so I won. That's my issue with the rule. Not so much the rule itself. It's just if you're hurt, you're hurt. And I don't think if you miss, 22 games, you should be ineligible. Like I said, you miss 30 games, you miss 40 games, I get it. But 22, you're ineligible? That's just, to me, that just don't make no sense. I don't understand how it's a competitive nature. But in the same sense, I know first teams and second teams are also riding on this. So now you got players potentially playing through injuries, right? That just because that affects their money, making those teams, NBA all first team, second team. So now, you might have a guy with a bad hamstring playing through that. Just to make sure he secures his bag. To me, and players are, working through injuries, and we know that comes with the game, but now it becomes a safety and a health risk potentially for players because they might not want to report injuries. They might not want to miss games and miss awards and miss their money. So that's my issue with the rule as it stands.
Before I go, I want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is a fair number to be eligible to be a first team all NBA, first team all defense, MVP eligible? What do you think is a fair number of games that should be played in order to keep yourself eligible?
60.
Right now, it's currently at 65.
60.
And you say 60.
60.
So to that, I ask you another question. What's the big fucking difference in 5 games?
What's the big difference?
What's the big fucking difference in 5 games?
Well, to me, when I'm looking at players who, like, you got the Joker who's missing one more game. He misses one more game, he's ineligible. Right? He could get sick. He could get the flu and miss that game. So now, not everyone can be Michael Jordan, right? So
no, fuck that. I'm not about to let you do that because the way I sit on here and worship him like he's the second coming of Jesus Christ, he should be able to give us a flu game. So I'm not even about to let you do that. He's one of the top 3 players in the world.
You take that up with Rod,
if not
with me.
If not the best player in the league, and you want to say if he come up with the flu, you got to give me something better than that. Yeah, he should be playing through the flu. He's Nikola Jokic.
You take that up with Rod. My
it's the second half of the season, and everything in the West right now is super fucking tight. Do you understand that the losses right now in the West are so detrimental to where you can end up in the playoff standings right now? The 1 through damn near 1 through 8. Yep. Like damn near 1 through 8. You know what I'm saying? That maybe 9. You know what I'm saying? It's so tight that a couple losses here and there, and you sliding from a top team in the West to potentially be into the play-in. That's how tight it is right now. But to get back on track, the purpose of this discussion, 5 games is not enough of a needle mover to me. I think that the 65 is perfect where it's at. For y'all to sit up and try to say that Cade could be gifted this award due to people missing these games or whatever is total bullshit. because it's not like we talking about him as it's not like we talking about him as the fifth potential candidate. Dude is already like number 1, number 2 in the MVP polls anyway. But the main thing is with this whole like resting players and shit, the reason why this shit is the way it is because it's gotten to a point where we don't know what the fuck a legit injury is anymore. So that's why the league had to implement this shit. We don't know what a legit injury is anymore. They're not gonna say rest and shit. That's how they getting fined. Did you not see the like a couple weeks ago when they rest? Who was that? Somebody, I think the Lakers. I think they rested LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves or something like that, and they got that big fine or whatever because it was a road game. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what the fuck a legit injury is anymore. These dudes just take it. They just, and I'm not even going to say these dudes. I'm going to say these franchises, I believe, just had these dudes take these nights off, take rest nights and stuff like that. And it's gotten to a point to where the league has had to implement some of these things in order to try to keep the thing going in the right direction. Because people were getting tuned out. Like, you got people paying hundreds of dollars for these expensive ass games, and they go to a game to see a team and the superstar player, hell, the top 3 players not even playing. So you done wasted your money. You down there thinking you about to see whoever, Joker, whatever, you know, and all of a sudden they're a healthy scratch for the night. That's bullshit. So you know what I'm saying? So, hey, if we gotta pay to come and get tricked into not seeing people that we pay to see, then hey, if you not playing a certain amount of games, you can't be eligible to win the MVP. And not only would Cade not be gifted this award, are you not paying attention to what Cade is doing right now? Dude is doing the most with less outside of him. That's why him and Jaylen Brown are like 1 and 2 right now in the MVP polls, because they're doing the most with the less around them right now. Total unexpected for either one of them to be doing what they doing right now and be in the position that they in right now. So don't give me that shit as a, you know what I'm saying, reason why you think Cade might pull this MVP
I'm not
out.
giving you shit.
Because it's not a foregone conclusion.
But you didn't even attest to the fact of what I said about player safety. So that's scary to say that. And on top, hold on. And on top of that, it is a gift. If all the competition is gone, R&B, it's a gift. No, listen. Hold on. Let's just say that all the candidates missed games for all the eligible games, 40 games into the season. Is it still a gift?
Yes. We really think
you never know. Happen? You never know. Someone could get a bad sprain and miss 25 games.
You know what? I won't even beat around it. I'll answer the question for you. No, it wouldn't be a gift because, as I said in the beginning of my statements, he's already number 1 and number 2 in most MVP polls anyway.
It's a gift, no matter how you look at it. It's being handed.
So you don't have to play. Me to do it's what I'm already expected to do.
It's just like showing up, like when they give awards to kids, right? And everyone gets one for showing up. It's just he showed up.
No, he's doing more than show up. No, he's doing more than showed up. Just showing up don't have you number 1, number 2 in the MVP poll.
It is when there's no competition at that point.
No, he's again, are you watching the games? Are you seeing what he's doing?
I'm watching what he's doing, but I'm telling you,
it's too long for you to respond. You not watching.
I'm telling you,
not watching.
I'm telling you,
it's taking way too long to get a response for somebody that's watching.
First of all, how many Detroit games you think they show in New York? How many?
Detroit has been on Prime this year. Detroit has been on Prime.
How many? Wait. Just because they don't show you Detroit games, that means that K can't be the MVP in regards to how many games whoever played, how many ever games.
Watching. He asked if I was watching.
No. What that even got to do with this conversation? Because that's part of the reason New York players always get hyped up, because everybody got to watch whack-ass New York teams, even when they lose it.
How many games you think they have?
Look, I'm sorry to crash y'all conversation, but no, we're not about to do that. We always, when the Knicks suck, They was always on fucking TNT and ESPN or whatever. The Giants, when they suck, when the Jets always suck. And I can't turn on ESPN without having to listen to whack-ass New York teams. Hell no. Hell no, man.
What the Jets had to do with it? Hold
Man,
on.
hey, no shade, Raj. No shade, Raj. No, hey, this ain't had nothing to do with you. It wasn't nothing personal. You caught a stray. It ain't personal, bro. You were just.
I caught 2 strays already. Hold on. Let me say this. I caught 2 strays. First and foremost, let me say this real quick. Nikola Jokic is the best damn player in the league. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing, man. Look, but when it comes down to
the MVP right now, though.
No. That's what I'm about to say second. He's not the MVP. He's the best player, in my opinion, in the league as far as, how he plays. He's number 2 in the MVP race, if you ask me. Outside of Cade Cunningham and after Jokic, I will put Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And the reason I'm saying this is because I like the
Jaylen Brown shade. You knocking Jaylen Brown that far down?
I got him number 4. It's no shade. It's no shade.
That's shade, bro.
No,
what is the MVP? What is MVP? This dude out here got the Celtics second in the East with Peyton Pritchard and Derek White having one of the most inconsistent, horrible shooting seasons, and these dudes without Tatum. What are we watching?
Yes. Trust me.
I ain't trying to take nothing away from Shai. I ain't trying to take nothing away from Joker. They definitely are 2 of the top 3 players in the world for sure.
Right.
But they not doing what Jaylen Brown and Cade doing right now, bro. They not. They got way more help.
So where would you put help? So where would you put in all things said, where would you put Jaylen Brown? Number 2?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not arguing.
Now I do have Joker third.
Right. But this is what I'm saying. It's all subjective. But in this situation, going back to the 65 game rule, I like the rule. I'm gonna tell you why I like the rule. Because like R&B said, there's players out here who just basically just phone it in. And at this point, we got to stop watching these players get paid $15-20 million extra on top of what they got paid last season because the NBA is doing well and out here doing only 60 games, 55 games a season. That's crazy. That's like me going to work half or 1 or 2/3 of the time that's supposed to go to work and still get paid a full salary. That's ridiculous. On top of that, as far as the injuries, I'm gonna leave it with this. Everybody's hurt. When you get after this All-Star break, everybody's hurt. Mike, everybody's injured. There's not one person that's not playing injured. But when it's all said and done, 65 should be the mark. 65 should be the mark. If they knock it down to 60, I'm not mad at that. But damn it, they should not knock it down no lower than 60. Because now it becomes a participation award if they go out there and give them 55 games, 58 games. Now it becomes a participation award because now we're not looking at the real MVP, the most valuable player, that's playing every single night and putting out these type of numbers. That's my take on it.
I know Will want to get in here. I know he itching to get in here. I just gotta ask one question real quick though before we move forward.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all can try just keep it quick if you can. If you took Cade and Jaylen Brown both away from their respective teams right now, do those teams still be around the playoff push, or are we looking at 2 lottery teams? And on top of that, I asked if you take a Joker or a Shai away from their team right now, where do those teams still fit in as far as the Western Conference?
As far as the West, I think if you take Joker away, the team goes to be like a play-in team. Because they do still have they got Jamal Murray, but they got a lot of injuries over there. Now, as far as Cade and Jaylen Brown, if you take them off their team, moving somewhere else, they're out the playoffs. they're out the playoffs. They're not even in the. They're probably a lottery team, in my opinion.
And in that, that's what I define as value. Don't mean that it's all the value, but
I'm kind of in the middle, but on this. I agree that Denver would still probably be like play-in type of situation. Jamal Murray ain't never had a chance to really be that guy, so he could probably step up. Aaron Gordon is a better player than the role he find himself in, but he excels in his role. Like, you know what I'm saying? Denver got talent or whatever. Even OKC, they got Chet. They got, like, you know what I mean? Like, the OKC is stacked. Like, you know what I mean? Whether people realize it or not, but they got talent up and down the roster.
OKC would still be a top 6-7 team without
Chet. I agree. With a healthy Jalen Williams and a healthy Chet, and you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I agree. Even the Pistons, like, and it's not taking anything away from Cade, but they keep showing, our roster keeps showing and proving that we are loaded up and down the roster. It's just that people excel in the role that they're in. And when somebody got to step up and step in, whether it's Paul Reed, you know what I mean? Them 4-5 games, you know what I'm saying? That, like, they keep showing and proving that our roster is better than most people even realize. You know what I mean? It's not just Cade, but Cade is the you know what I'm saying?
He's definitely
the centerpiece. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Cade is the kind of player that all of these different players, it might not be every single night, but that's not how it is with a role players. But every single player on that team had a moments because Cade is a team player, and he, you know what I'm saying? He raises the level of everybody on the team. You know what I mean? He don't take nothing away from anybody. So I feel like I'm not necessarily disagreeing with Ryan or Raj. I'm kind of agreeing with both of y'all in a certain kind of way. That no, we wouldn't be, obviously like a title contender without Cade, but I think they would be better, you know what I mean, than most people would give them credit for.
Okay.
What you say, Mike?
I would say that Detroit has more talent constructed as Boston.
Yeah.
So I think, and I think especially considering that no one expected anything out of Boston, I would give Jaylen Brown a little more of the edge. What Detroit has is they're building chemistry. Like, that's the main thing, is chemistry. So you take Cade away, I think they'll still be respectable, not to the same level, but I do give Brown a little bit of an edge over Cade in that regard, because everyone thought without Tatum they would do nothing, and Brown's
not just without Tatum. They traded away Chris Papp. They traded away, you know what I'm saying? Drew Holiday. Like they let they punted on the season basically. As an organization, which made sense financially. Like, I get it, you don't pay all that money for a team that you felt, but no, they were nobody in that organization outside of the 12 or 15 or so players on that team could have told you that they expected to be where they are right now.
Well, they did They did that primarily because of that second window shit that's out there.
You're right. Yeah.
That's what really caused it. Whether they had to do it, because that second window blocks a lot.
So, second apron.
Second apron. Yeah. The second apron.
Yeah.
First apron, second apron. Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying. They punted on the season because they didn't think it was financially feasible. We saying the same thing, Mike. You know what I'm saying? They didn't think the math wasn't mathing in them.
But mainly, you invested all the money into Jaylen Brown. You gave him a lot of money, and he's proven to do what you paid him to do. As for the West, you said the Joker, and who was the other one?
OKC.
You take SGA away, I think you gave Chet a lot of money, and you gave Jalen Williams a lot of money. Figure out a way to be successful. But in terms of the joke or the Nuggets, I think without the Joker, they're not even a playing team. I think they fall right to the bottom of the conference without him.
I think they play in without Joker.
I think they're at least a
I
play.
think they
at least
play
playing.
in without Joker.
If Aaron
They
Gordon
got
is
some
healthy,
talent.
Again, healthy Aaron Gordon does more without Joker. And again, Aaron Gordon is what? Well, when they won the championship, he was like the fourth, option on the team. Like that's a luxury to have Aaron Gordon in that, kind of position. So I feel like they would still be a competitive team playing. I ain't saying they winning, a playoff round, but I think they competitive.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying they won't compete. It's just that the Joker does a lot for them. Like, I mean, he does a lot for them. Murray can be up and down. It's like, bro, what are you doing here? Like, you were just playing so good yesterday or 3 days ago. Now you look like you got hit by a freight train. Like, so.
right.
I think Murray's issue with injuries more than consistency. Like,
yeah, that part.
You know what I'm saying? He's been a NBA All-Star caliber player for at least 5 years now. But most of the time he hurt early in the season. You know what I'm saying? So he's not even really in the conference, or you know what I'm saying? But then when he's healthy for the playoffs, we see playoff Jamal Murray. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He's a whole other entity once he gets to that point.
Yeah.
You're not looking at the same player. Like some players are able to turn it up in the playoffs, and he's definitely one of those players.
Most definitely. I got a handful of bullet points here that I want to touch on, and the list got longer as I was listening to y'all. So I'm gonna just try to keep it all short and concise.
Okay.
I like the spirit of the rule, not the execution. You know what I'm saying? I do think you at least need to play some kind of amount of games. You know what I mean? To actually, because again, value. Like, you know what I mean? You got to be on the court to a certain degree. You know what I mean? To provide. If you the best player in the league, but you only played 35 games, like, you know what I mean? What the hell is that getting us? Joel Embiid. You know what I'm saying? Like, so again, we've got examples of that. So I do think it needs to be something. We all had a conversation about between 60 and 65 and what do 5 games mean. 5 games in an 82 game season. So if you play 77 games versus 82, that don't mean a whole lot. But the more games you miss, them 5 games mean that much more. You know what I'm saying? It gets exponentially more important. You know what I mean? The more games you miss. So it's a difference between 60 and 65 than 77 and 82. I don't see those as equivalent. You know what I mean? I understand why you're saying what you're saying. Like in a vacuum, 5 games don't mean much, but the more games you miss and you keep talking about 5 games, yeah, that matters more. Cade will be in this conversation, and whether or not, and again, R&B already, touched on that, but I feel the need to say that out loud. Even if this rule wasn't in place, Cade is firmly implanted in this conversation. It's not a war for just showing up. You know what I'm saying? Also too, you're a fucking pro. So you shouldn't need an award to show up and play. You know what I mean? But even with that, most people don't even think about it in these terms. And somebody brought up Kawhi, but Kawhi only did what the Spurs had already been doing. It's not players that started all of this shit. The San Antonio Spurs, Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs started all of this shit. They rested Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili on a nationally televised game. I think it was against the Lakers. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But whoever it was against the Heat. Okay, I knew it was you know what I mean? But so the Spurs started this shit.
Let him make the trip.
Right. And David Stern used to call the Spurs his little United Nations team. That was his favorite team in the NBA, right? And when they started doing this shit, everybody say it, NBA is a copycat league. The NFL is a copycat league. When somebody sees somebody else doing some shit that seems to be successful for them, everybody else start falling in line and following behind it, whether you have the infrastructure or the talent or the coaching or scouting or whatever the case may be. Like, everybody just think they can replicate what everybody else do. So this didn't start with players. You know what I'm saying? It started with the San Antonio Spurs, who everybody feel like is the pretty little grassroots organization, the little engine that just keep chugging along and shit. You know what I'm saying? When they out here making cutthroat decisions. Kawhi learned that from them. He was with them. And then when it didn't work for them, you know what I'm saying? It was a problem. And then we went and saw Kawhi win a championship in Toronto on load management. So now everybody's like, oh, well, shit, maybe you do need to, you know what I mean, man. So it's so many tentacles to all of this. I don't feel like it's any one answer. You know what I'm saying? In regards to the MVP, yeah, I do feel like you need to play, in my mind, at least 60 games. Give me 60 games. If you can give me roughly 75% of the season, you know what I'm saying? I can rock with that. But it just, and last point, these, like always happens with the owners when it comes to, you know, negotiating the collective bargaining agreement. So now, if you say they got to play at least 65 games, and all these players that we talking about are in jeopardy of missing 65 games and they not eligible for all NBA, you know who gonna make all NBA? A whole bunch of motherfuckers who ain't deserving of making all NBA. And you know what the owners are gonna have to do? They're gonna have to pay them because they made all NBA. So it's the what do they call it? The unintentional consequences of, you know what I mean? Whenever you're trying to solve a problem and then it just keeps creating another problem. You know what I'm saying? These owners are about to find themselves paying players who are not necessarily all NBA talent, but they're gonna have to pay them on an all NBA scale, and then they're gonna have a problem with that shit too.
It's never gonna end.
Two things I want to say real quick. We do got to understand also, if they did take it down to 65 games, to 60 games, that's taking it down as well, which means that now that's even more less of a, you know what I'm saying, stretch of games that you could miss, you know what I'm saying, that could be critical going against you as well. So it's really a slippery slope there. And then when it comes to Kawhi Leonard, being a Kawhi fan, people got to understand, and I've been saying this for years, Kawhi Leonard has been low managing the way he has for as long as he has, because Kawhi Leonard has legitimate bad knees. This man has had two horrific knee injuries in both knees, you know what I'm saying, that has taken him out for extended periods of time, you know, in the youth of his career. That's why when we see, you know what I'm saying, Kawhi Leonard might be Penny Hardaway today. Not as far as skill set, style, none of that shit, but just he might be Penny Hardaway today if Penny Hardaway would have had load management back when he played, what he possibly could have done. What we've seen happen with Kawhi, him load manage himself, two rings and shit, basic. Well, yeah, well, really one ring. I say with the Toronto, the two with San Antonio were, you know what I'm saying, who knows? I wouldn't probably say those were load management rings, but the Toronto one definitely was, and I think it was well deserved for him to be able to do it with the injuries that he had. So if you think back on the career of somebody like a Penny, if they would allow him to, you know, saying maybe do that, then, you know, we might have got a different result. Maybe with Grant Hill, you might have got a different result, even though Grant did go on to have some good years with Phoenix at the end. You know what I'm saying? We all know what he went through for years trying to get himself back healthy and get on the court. So
and he also felt like they mismanaged his injury. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how true it is, but he felt like they mismanaged his injury. You know,
the whole shit with him and Tony Parker, because, you know, Tony Parker had the same injury, but missed a lot of time, but eventually came back, and then, you know, he called him out like, oh, well, I had the same one, he should be back by now. And at that point, his uncle was like, you know, we out of here. So, you know, just a lot of context to that shit. That's all.
That's why I say it ain't really. I don't think it's any one answer. Also, too, Raj. Your job, you expect to go home healthy every single night, and you got the right to feel that way. Right. When you're talking about athletes, No, like it is. Part of it is managing injuries, and you know what I mean. Manage, like for the sake of your career. Like it's not the same. What we do every day is not the same as what they do every day. So it's not like in my opinion, I don't feel like they can. They don't have the luxury of just saying, you know what, I'm gonna go home healthy tonight because of the nature of their job. It's what I mean. I don't like when people try to compare our everyday jobs to the kind of shit that they do. Oh yeah, if I made this much money, I will every day I would do it. And it's like, yeah, but it's it's not the same thing. It's a false equivalence. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving them credit like for being pro athletes or whatever. Because if you I do feel like if you sign that big ass contract, you know what I mean? Like you got certain responsibilities.
You got
But
responsibility.
again, to Ryan's point, like, and what he's saying about Kawhi, like, as soon as they feel like you done, they just gonna let your ass go. You got every right, you know what I'm saying, to try to make sure that, you know what I mean, you are doing your best to sustain your career. You know what I mean?
True.
And another thing about it too is like I have mixed reactions to that statement because to me it's like we're expected to go to work every day, and if you don't go to work, you don't get paid, right? As an athlete, you go to work, and you don't have to go to work and get paid. So like I look at it like
no,
that.
If you get hurt on a job, you get workman's comp. You get
That ain't
you.
that ain't your full pay. As an NBA or NFL player,
actually, no. I've been there before. Depends on your situation. But again,
no,
if you get hurt on the job,
but hold on. No. But you know what? Michigan is different from New York State. New York State we got nothing but felons in New York State. They will find a way to rape your ass.
All I'm saying is, if you get hurt on the job, you know what I mean, due to something, you know what I mean, just doing your job and you get an injury, typically you get compensated in some kind of way. You don't get fired or terminated, whether it's workman's comp. Sometimes you have to sue your job. But again, if you get hurt on the job, these dudes more often than not, we done heard about crazy accidents and incidents or whatever. But if you get hurt on the court or on the field of play or in practice, yeah, you do deserve to still get paid. You know what I'm saying? Because you got hurt doing your job. All of that is part of your job.
You're changing the narrative. Changing the narrative of my point, and you're killing my second point. Hold on. The first point is what I'm saying is if you get hurt, right? Jason Tatum got hurt, I think, on a Saturday and had a surgery on a Tuesday, right? If I get hurt tomorrow, guess what? I ain't getting surgery on Wednesday. I got to go through my insurance. They're going to want to do PT. They're going to want to do this and that. And the insurance has to approve it, right? What I'm saying is I got hurt on workers' comp and I got 60% of my pay per New York State. And on top of that, I couldn't even file the claim for 7 days. So I had to go a week unpaid and then file the claim. And then it took them 3 weeks to start paying me. So
Mike,
when you're a player,
Mike, respectfully, if it was the CEO of your company, they would have had the surgery the next day. That's Jason Tatum.
But I'm just a bottom
Jason
feeder,
Tatum.
right?
Like, I ain't being an asshole. Like, I'm a bottom feeder. If it happened to me at work, I would go through the same shit you do, Mike. But if it was, you know what I mean, the director of my department, it's gonna go different for them. That's life.
Well, they got a little more
like, again, which is why I say it's a false equivalency. I'm not as important to the people I work for as Jason Tatum is to the people he works for. And it's not just basketball and football. That's life.
You're missing. You're not letting me get to devil's advocate. There's another side that's going to agree with your point. You got to let me get there.
Okay.
Devil's advocate is also, and I heard, and it was funny because it wasn't to Taraji said this in an interview that it made me look at it this way, was if you get paid, she gets $20 million for a movie, right? She gets taxed, so half is gone, right? Then after she gets taxed, she got to pay her managers. She got to pay her agents. She got to pay her makeup team. She got to pay production. She got to pay all these people. So when she's done, she's got $4 million left, give or take, out of 20. And that's the same thing. There are people for these players, and this is the devil's advocate to your point. There are people who are depending on him to do what he does in order to take their check home. That's the advocacy in your point. So like I don't agree with either side or disagree with either side. I just realized that they're in a higher bracket of what they do, because like you said, what they do is more important. I get hurt tomorrow and I'm out for a year, my job can terminate me. And guess what? There's hundreds of other people they can find with a Class A license who can drive a truck and deliver their freight. There's only one Jason Tatum, right? There's only one of him.
Hey, fellas, I think we could wrap this one up by just saying, to whom much is given,
much is expected. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Moving on. I seen something, and Raj had brought this to my attention in the thread. I seen something, and Raj, I'll let you explain a little more about the Lakers. I seen something about Ayton saying he's not Clint Capella.
Yes.
So what? Yeah, like we know this, but I'll let you go since this was your topic that you brought to my attention.
Yeah.
I'll take Clint Capella.
Let me say this. Let me just preference this real quick, okay? Because I need everyone to hear me out on this. For the fellas on the pod and also the audience out there. When I first watched DeAndre Ayton in college, when he was at Arizona, right? In my mind, I said this guy is the next David Robinson because of the build, because of the physicality, the ability to get rebounds, the ability to make mid-range shots. He reminded me of those 90s big guys. I'm not talking about just one of those like random centers. I'm talking about one of those real legit big guys when he was in college at Arizona. When he got to the NBA, and I don't know if it was after his first deposit or after the rookie season, that motherfucker turned the other way. He turned into Kwame Brown. And no shade to Kwame Brown. But god damn, can we get a double-double? Because my whole thing is this. If you're 7 feet tall, why the hell can't you get a rebound? If you're 7 feet tall and 250 and like ripped, why can't you get 10 points? It's really simple. That's less than 4 points a quarter. Less than 4 points a quarter is all we're asking for. Less than 3 to 4 rebounds a quarter is all we're asking for. And he's going to say, well, they're trying to make me Clint Capella. Look, I'm trying to be nice and not go off, but nigga, you ate Clint Capella.
Exactly. You what you say? You don't even understand how right you were, bro.
I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? I watched Clint Capella play with the Rockets. I watched Clint Capella play with the Atlanta Hawks. He goes out there, he gives his all. Whatever his role is, he plays that role. If they need him to play defense, he plays defense. If they need him to get rebounds, he gets rebounds. If they need him to get putbacks, he gets putbacks. Ayton is the laziest big man I've ever watched play basketball in my whole entire life, and he's the worst number one pick. And it's just horrible to hear this. And with all that being said, as far as the Lakers go, I can't wait until they blow this shit up. I can't wait until they go and become the Lake Street Boys. I cannot wait for this boy band to be formed because we need Ayton out the building. We need LeBron out the building. Is there any other black players on that team? We need them all gone. We need all the black players gone. Okay? That stereotype that they got for us, they're not helping. They're not helping. LeBron, I'm sorry. You're not fitting in. You're not fitting in. You're a great player. Not good. Great player. Okay? But the Lakers, they done moved on from you, bro. When they went out there and picked up Luka, they was already working on how we're gonna do this thing with Rob Pelinka, JJ Redick, all these supermodel guys. right? That's who they got. That's who they got. They moved on from LeBron. So
You say
I feel
Rob Pelinka is the old one in the Backstreet Boys. You know how they had the old member.
exactly.
But I think it was
Like Joey Fatone.
He was the Joey Fatone, Chris Kirkpatrick of the NSYNC. You know what I'm saying? And it's obvious they got a type. Okay, they went out there, they found Luke Kennard. I haven't seen that dude in the NBA in like 10 years. Right? I don't know where the hell he was. They found Luke Kennard. They got Austin Reeves out there balling. You know what I'm saying? They're finding what they want in LA. I feel bad for LeBron because LeBron came there. He wanted to win championships. He got a championship. But with all that being said, blow this shit up with the Lakers. I'm so sick and tired of watching them. They're the most bipolar team in the NBA. That's all I got to say.
I'll say this, and I'm not going to be long with this topic, is I was very critical of the move when they signed him. I did not feel like he moved the needle. There were other people out there that they could have went for, and they quickly got grabbed up, and they were left with no other option. We know that Clint Capella is not the most offensive center. He's more of a big body down low, but Ayton doesn't offer you that. He's not the fastest, and he just doesn't have the presence, which is why he's no longer on Phoenix, right? So
he's lazy.
To me, it's just,
Ayton is lazy. He doesn't hustle at all. He's the most laziest player I've ever witnessed in my life.
That's why the statement was they want me to be Clint Capella because I believe that the Lakers do want him to be Clint Capella because I believe that the Lakers and LeBron James and them feel like he can be Clint Capella. It's him.
And if he did Clint Capella shit, it would be very helpful to that team.
Because
even if he was
Andre Ayton be Clint Capella when he was in his best years in Phoenix.
Right.
Well, even if Ayton could give them, 14 points, 11 boards, 8 boards, 9 boards, on a consistently, he can't even do that for them. And a block shot, like you give him that, if that's all you can give, that's all you can give. I mean, I think he can give more, but it's better than what he's giving now.
Hey, it's funny that y'all brought him up and shit. I think I could argue that Kwame Brown's late years were better than what DeAndre Ayton has given us the last 4 years.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
You feeling my shit, bro? I was gonna say the same thing.
Nah, go ahead.
And I can't stand Kwame, but
yeah.
I'm gonna make mine real quick because I really don't have. I know I took a lot of time on the last topic. He's one of those guys that if you look at the box score and you didn't watch the game, you think he balled, but when you watch the game, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? He's right. He's not Clint Capella. Clint Capella has contributed to winning basketball for multiple teams. You know what I'm saying? Part of me, you know what I mean? Ayton was the number 1 pick in the draft. So I understand why he don't feel like he should have to be Clint Capella, but he hasn't actually proved, you know what I'm saying, that he's better than fucking Clint Capella, which is why he keep getting moved around.
Yeah, he's had the chance to do it. I just want to add that in there.
Yeah. And the thing that I think about the most when I think about Ayton is that Phoenix never should have fucking drafted him. No way. They should have took, you know what I'm saying, Luka and put Luka with Book. You know what I'm saying? Because this was pre, Chris Paul or whatever. Put Luka with Book and see what, put some pieces around it and see what they had. That's what I think about the most when I think about Ayton. And that's why I can't even remember who was the general manager at the time, but that's why they are no longer the general manager of the Phoenix Suns.
Yep.
They took Ayton over fucking Luka. And Trey. I'd have rather had Trey too.
Yep.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But the one thing I will say if we remember that draft, we all kind of knew who Trey was. Nobody really knew too much about Luka.
Not true. Not true. They have been talking about Luka for 2-3 years. Luka won a championship at like 15 in Europe. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. I can't speak for you, but I know I was hearing about Luka. obviously I wasn't able to sit down and watch games and the clips they had, like, you know, the shit, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
But
I just don't
it was
remember him
plenty of
being.
people saying that Luka was that guy like that. A lot of NBA players that had lost their spot in the league and went overseas were coming back over here talking about Luka and saying Luka was going to be that guy.
Mm-hmm. He had
I
European
just don't remember him being that hyped up in that draft. I definitely remember the hype that was around DeAndre Ayton coming out.
Oh
Like
yeah,
he was definitely expected to be one of those next transcendent, big men.
You know what?
I ain't disagreeing. I do, I ain't disagreeing with y'all. Though I definitely know Luka was, one of the ones that they were touting in that top three. But I don't think nobody going over DeAndre Ayton.
Real quick, I'm gonna tell you why they was low on Luka. Because they looked at how he played and they looked at other European prospects and they're like, is he soft? Because he was playing more of a what's that? What type of game?
I remember them comparing this nigga to Tony Kukoc and shit. Like,
they was comparing him to that.
And that's no shade. Tony Kukoc definitely was great, was nice.
Yeah, but they questioned his toughness. That's what it was. It was real low on him because of his toughness.
And because, again, still to this day, he's not the most athletic guy. He don't, like, when you look at him, he don't look like an NBA superstar. You know what I'm saying? That was a big part of it, too.
He looked like a tight end.
Yeah.
Or a pocket passer.
Man, he looked like a soccer dad. Like, if we being honest, he still, as much as he got in shape this offseason, he still don't look like what we think of top level NBA player. Like, you know what I mean? He don't look. He still don't look like that. You know,
if he looked like Cooper Flag, who's you could tell he'd be in the workout room,
right? Super athletic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
Cooper looks like a top notch athlete, and he plays like a top notch athlete. You know what I'm saying? Luka is more about his skill.
Yeah, it's all skill with Luka for sure.
Exactly.
Well, we'll see what the Lakers do because they definitely need to blow it up so they're not, the backdoor boys or whatever the hell Rod's just said.
I'm gonna trademark that. I'm gonna trademark that. It's called the Lake Street Boys.
The views expressed on this podcast are not. You lost me with the backdoor boys.
No.
That was wild. That was wild as hell.
I didn't say that.
So the other night,
it'd be funny if opening week for the Lakers next year they had a Backstreet Boys perform or some shit.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm telling you, they're gonna change that whole Lakers concept. What they had it as a couple years ago with LeBron and AD. That's gone, bro. They're building around Luka for the future for the next 5-10 years.
Oh man. So it was Friday night. Excuse me, the Nuggets and the Thunder had what appeared to me to be what felt like a damn playoff game. Obviously, the Thunder, it took overtime, but they did it. They beat the Nuggets. What were your guys' thoughts on this game? And do you think this could be a potential Western Conference final matchup?
Fuck that. I want these motherfuckers to play in the first or second round.
Yeah.
Say knock each other out.
I like what I'm seeing with the feistiness and the chippiness. You know what I'm saying? I'm liking it. That boy Joker eyes was big. It damn near felt kind of racist watching that shit. Like, what?
Yeah, the crazy eyes.
Crazy eyes. Yeah, I like it, man. I think that would be a great first, second round series, watch them battle it out in a hard 7-game series. Like that, I think that's what people looking for.
What about you? What about you, boys?
You go ahead, Raj.
Yeah, I loved it, man. I honestly think if it's a first round matchup, that'll be the greatest first round matchup, possibly of all time, because they're going 7, and it's going to be very, very chippy. And I'm gonna tell you this: Shea Gilgeous-Alexander haven't met his match until he met up with the Denver Nuggets. Did you see how Shea Gilgeous was throwing around his elbows and trying to get Jokic off of him, and he threw the ball after him when he pushed him out
How
of
do you
bounds?
do that? That ain't nothing new. Everybody
As a 5'8" dude, as he should. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta let a nigga know. You know?
Exactly.
I'm here for this. I'm here for
all
this.
for it, and I love it, man. I love what they got out there, man. I love it, but I will say this: Lou Dort, low key, is a dirty player. I didn't realize that. I like Lou Dort.
He's an enforcer. What enforcer ain't somewhat dirty?
But that was a dirty ass move. That clip move. That I mean,
That's
I
his
didn't.
job, man. That's his job.
And I couldn't even defend him because like that type of move will piss me off too. But what gets me
think about all of the enforcers in history. They all dirty.
That is true. That is
every good defensive player and good defensive team got. Hey, your favorite point guard of all time? Google how dirty that motherfucker was. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. So it's definitely give me a 90s feel. But I will say this: why did Lou Dort keep that same energy when he went up against what's his name, Jeremiah Fear on the Pelicans? He didn't keep that same energy with Joker.
Sometimes you gotta make business decisions.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That was definitely a business decision. He backed up like, I don't want none of that smoke. I'm good. But yeah,
you ain't no good to nobody if you laid up in the hospital, bro.
That's like Duncan Robinson when he walked away from the whole little New Orleans Pistons scuffle.
Oh yeah. That's true. He walked right away from
it. Hey, whether anybody want to acknowledge it or not, as crazy as we know Ron Artest is, he made a business decision on the night of the Malice at the Palace. You know what I'm saying? He went and laid his ass down somewhere, literally.
He really did though.
That motherfucking pushing was like, shit.
God damn.
My favorite scene in the Malice of the Palace was when I don't know if it was who was it that stood there and looked at the fan when they were standing in the hallway, and then he's like, "Fuck it, I'm swinging." Who was that? Which player was that?
Jermaine O'Neal.
No, that was on the court. That was on the court, right? The two dudes ran up on him on the court.
Yeah. Okay.
And if he wouldn't have slipped, he would have killed that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because remember, he slipped trying to step into the punch. If he wouldn't have slipped, that boy would have been dead, bro.
He legendary.
He slipped onto some Gatorade, but that was hilarious.
Into a knockout.
But you can almost see the thought bubble across his head. Like he was thinking about it. He said, "Fuck it, I'm doing it."
One of these days, I'm gonna have to tell y'all how I experienced all of that, because it was the craziest shit in the world, and I didn't think the shit was real what I was seeing.
we gotta hear.
I watched that shit live too, bro.
I was hanging out with my girl Jeanette up at Eastern, and you know when the people got to smacking us, she like, for real, we still got to sit here and watch this, you know what I mean, whatever. And I'm trying to hang in because you know how our Pistons will be, they'll lock you up and get back in the game. But finally, at some point in the third quarter, it's like, all right, you know what I mean, go ahead, put on whatever you want to put on. And my spidey senses started tingling, and it was like, hey, can we just turn back to the game real quick to see what's happening? And when we flipped back to the channel, Ron Artest was in the crowd on top of my man, and I'm like, "What the fuck just happened? Like, what? Like, you know, what? This shit can't be real. Like, I'm tripping, right? I know we just smoked one. Like, am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I high right now? Like, what the fuck is happening?" And it was like, oh my God. So I didn't see it all in real time. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just saw Ron Artest, you know what I mean, beating the hell out of my man in the crowd.
That's a night I'll never forget. I was sitting up kicking it. I was babysitting actually. I'm at my sister's house babysitting, and I'm watching the game, talking to my boys, and we all on the phone watching the game. And we sitting here on the phone like, man, you see this shit? Like, this shit wild as hell. Like, these motherfuckers clowning. I called my sister was on the date. I'm babysitting for her. I'm watching my niece. I'm calling her cell phone like the Pistons fight. They all in. I had never seen no shit like that before.
Not like that.
You got mine. You got to think too. I'm. What year was that? 2005, I think.
I think it was.
Yeah.
It was 2004 because it was November or something like that. It was like our first game against them after we won the championship. So it was fall of 2004.
Yeah, they was ready to come prove a point. So at that time, I think I'm like 16, some shit like that, 15, 16. But yeah, that was wild, man. That was some wild ass shit. That shit, they replayed that shit all night on the news. Like that it wasn't nothing else was gonna see. It was just all coverage about that shit all night.
But they kept saying Detroit.
I know, that's Auburn Hills.
That's Auburn Hills, bro. They ain't got nothing to do with us.
Oh man. So just before we get into the list and close, just a couple things I want to make quick mention of. Just an NFL topic. The Cowboys tagged Pickens, used the franchise on him. I just read while we were doing the show, or it came up that the Vikings are releasing Aaron Jones. I've read that an AJ Brown trade is in the works. They're working on trading him from Philly.
Not surprised.
Yeah. Another topic here was NBA that I guess. How do you say the rookie's name, Raj? I can't pronounce it.
Con Knipple. Weird last name.
Yep, he broke the rookie 3-point record, most threes by a rookie.
In what, 53 games or something like that? Crazy.
I wonder, was he breastfed growing up? And if his mama
that's his new nickname, the nipple. That's what we call him now, the
nipple. So about that boy,
and you were saying, Raj, that James Harden has an injury?
Yeah, he's got a right hand injury. He's left-handed, but they said they're going to evaluate him in about another 5 more days, which kind of questions what exactly is going to happen.
I think he broke his thumb.
Yeah.
Knipple did?
No.
Harden. Oh yeah. I saw you had a thumb injury.
Yeah.
Hey man, real quick, I'm gonna just say this, dog. Y'all probably gonna agree with me. I don't care. We all entitled to think how we think. We all wired differently.
Yep.
James Harden, he got a lot to prove. To me, he's one of the greatest scoring guards we've ever seen play this game. He's one of the greatest combo guard. He's probably the greatest combo guard of all time. Because he's a 2 guard and he's a point guard. So I think he's the best combo guard of all time. I can't really define them as either one of them, because we've seen him do both of them at such a great level and high level. I'm just going to say he's a combo guard. He's his own thing. With that being said, this dude has had some of the worst playoff performances that I have ever seen in my life. For somebody as ultra talented and skilled of a scorer as him. I don't want to hear nothing about no broken fucking thumb when I watch Kobe Bryant win a championship with a broken hand and a torn rotator cuff. call it the Kobe bias, whatever you want to call it, bro. You got to get your ass out there. It's maybe if you getting evaluated, whatever. But after that, I need you on the court because you the last motherfucker that need to be taking any time off and then going into the playoffs with no rhythm and no go with the playoff performances that we've seen you have, especially when it's counted the most.
On a new team too.
Yeah, you got to be in rhythm, bro. And Donovan Mitchell been out, but I think he got like a little hamstring injury that he nursing or something like that. So,
well, I'm gonna say
I don't believe Cleveland. I've been saying it at work when we talk to the guys at work, and John be talking about it. He don't think the Pistons can get past the first round, or they gonna get put out because they might lose to Boston or Cleveland, this and that. And I'm like, bro, I do not believe in Cleveland, bro, because I like Donovan Mitchell. I ain't got nothing against James Harden, but like neither one of them have shown me anything when it comes to the playoffs that make me feel like they that much of a threat. Like I feel like Donovan Mitchell gonna give you them 30-point performances that come up as losses, and James Harden, I'm sorry, probably gonna give you some 2 for 15s with 8 assists, 7 rebounds. He might give you 12 assists, 5 for 20. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not scared of that. I'm not.
He might be on the bench with a towel on his head while the bench players bring him back and win you a game. We've seen it.
I don't.
Josh Smith and company, yeah, I'll never forget that game. That's one of my biggest knocks on James Harden. That his best playoff comeback of all time was done with him on the bench when Josh Smith led the Rockets back. Who was that they was playing? Phoenix?
Golden State, wasn't it?
No, the Clippers. The
Clippers, yeah.
Yeah. Clippers were beating their ass. This nigga Josh Smith come in. Josh Smith.
Post Piston Josh Smith.
Well,
yeah.
I just want to say one thing. We know, and this is this is all factual information. We know this is who James Harden is. We seen it the first time he went to the finals back in 2012 or whatever it was against the Heat. He disappeared. He disappeared, and then he from there went over to Houston, played out of his mind in the regular season, and was never able to get over the hump. Especially, when you look at the one series I talk about all the time, Western Conference Finals. You up 3-2 to the Warriors. You got to win 1 of 2. Chris Paul goes down with that ragged hamstring, and you couldn't step up and close the deal. You had 2 opportunities to close the deal and couldn't do it. And then you moved to Brooklyn. That didn't work out. And then we did the Philly thing. And then, this is the next coming of Kobe and Shaq. Shut the fuck up on that. Then, you went over to the Clippers and, you did whatever there. And now you're here in Cleveland in the 16th year, roughly, of your career. R&B, I'm going to say, bro, I don't disagree with what you're saying at all, but we haven't seen it yet. And guess what? I'm content with it never coming because it's not. I don't expect it to come. I don't see it coming. Do I regard him as a great guard? Yeah, he made my damn list. But when it comes to the playoffs, that's just he just doesn't do it there. Even people who are bad playoff performers have a lot of players have fucked around and won one. Like, I know we can't this is comparing apples and oranges, but Peyton Manning, he's known as a poor playoff performer, but he still went to 4 Super Bowls and won 2 at the end of the day. But Harden hasn't even been able to sniff another finals, right? He ain't been back to the finals outside of that one time, right?
No, he never been. Outside of him being the lead guy, he never been to the finals.
So just the
real quick,
OKC.
the year when Chris Paul hurt his hamstring, a lot of people will always bring that up. I don't give him a pass for that. The reason why is because they won 7 games, and in the 7th game, Houston was supposed to beat Golden State because Golden State left it right there for them to win. Houston decided to go 0 from 25 from 3. If they make one motherfucking 3, he's back in the finals.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, and the other thing is too, you know, he was obviously younger and healthier then. Then, you know, he's been pretty healthy overall, but still it's just like I just don't think it's ever gonna happen. The only way it's gonna happen is when, you know, I think James Harden will play. You know how like you play longer than you should and like you could contribute, but like you're just there. Kind of like how Gary Payton was towards the end. Or Vince Carter, even, you know, he might just slide on to
himself too. I think he fucked himself when he wanted out of Houston. And you got to think about something. When you're on a regiment, the way high level athletes or athletes period are, and then you all of a sudden switch some shit, that can fuck it up. It's like a well-tuned engine, and all of a sudden you get an oil change and you switch the type of oil that you've been using. That can fuck some shit up. When he wanted out of Houston, he went and got fat and got out of shape, and then came in and tried to play that way, and the hamstring injury happened.
True.
And that hamstring lingered and lingered, and that hamstring bothered him for about 2 to 3 seasons after that, where he was having hamstring issues and shit and missing games and stuff like that, with an abundance of other issues. So I think if he went about things the right way, the business way, and just said that he wanted out of Houston and tried to force a trade out of Houston instead of going to get fat and shit, we might be talking about a different level of James Harden that we still seeing here. But he fucked himself, in my opinion, when he did that shit. I felt like when he got out of shape, he blew his engine a little bit, and they were able to repair it. They rebuilt it, but it just don't run the same no more.
I'm with it. I can respect that. Well, gentlemen, it is time for the shooting guard list before we close the show.
Oh, I thought we was doing that tomorrow.
Oh no! No. We're not doing the show tomorrow.
No, today is
Today, we're gonna do the Sunday thing. Is when we do it Sunday, that's gonna be the show. My job is getting a little hectic, which is why I offered this alternative. So I don't want to miss any shows. At least while I can control it a little bit while it's slow, you know. But
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't putting no list together. I thought we was doing it tomorrow, but I'm a grade y'all list, and then next week I'll give y'all my quick rundown on the list, and y'all just grade it. How about that?
All right, we can do that.
Okay.
And then you can you're gonna have to make 2 lists then, because I guess
some time to put something together.
Because next week we'll probably do small.
Small forward should be next week. Yeah.
Small forward next week. Okay, yeah, we'll do small forward next week. And then that leaves power forward after that.
Yep.
I think we might need to end up doing a list for like people, like we was just talking about how James Harden, R&B was saying, point guard, shooting guard. I think we need to do a top 10 of like swing players.
Okay.
2-way players.
No. When I think of a 2-way player, I think of offense, defense. I'm talking about like T-Mac, Vince Carter. Like, do you look at them as a shooting guard or a small forward? I feel like they was a little bit of both. You know what I mean? Depending on the situation you talk about. James Harden done played point guard and done played shooting guard. Jamal Crawford was like a, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? He could drop dimes, you know what I mean? But he was a bucket getter. That's the type of thing I'm talking about. Like players who kind of, even Larry Bird, like people think of him as a small forward, but he started at power forward most of his career. And Kevin McHale came off the bench a lot of them years. You know what I'm saying? So like that type of thing. I think that would be a dope list to do when we get a chance.
Yeah, that'd be
because we'll do small forward, power forward, And then I wanted to do a 6-man list.
Yeah.
And then we could do that one. And a head coach list.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one. You guys can answer this too, but this question specifically for Raj.
What's up?
Raj, what are your thoughts on Doc Rivers being a Hall of Fame candidate?
As a coach?
As a coach, yes.
That nigga is Ben Simmons of the coaches. You don't deserve nothing. Doc Rivers. I can't stand. He need to get it. He need to be. He need. He need to work.
Hey, wait till the day that Doc Rivers sit. Then I'm watching ESPN and I get to see Doc Rivers sit down in the press conference as the new head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. That we gonna have to do a show that day for Raj.
Then I'm done. I'm done watching basketball.
You know what's so crazy about what you said though, Raj? When they asked him after he wouldn't dunk on Trey, and they asked him, is Ben Simmons a championship point guard? Can you win a championship with him? What'd he say?
Yeah.
He said, yeah. I don't know. That's Doc. Like, can you win a championship? What are y'all be hearing? Can you win a championship with him? Yeah. We done seen it happen. Will you win a championship with him? I don't know. I don't know. That was a great comparison.
I wouldn't say he failed in Boston, but he definitely was supposed to deliver more than one championship with that team. He underachieved with that Boston team. Big time.
Man, he overachieved in Orlando. The early Boston years really was ass. And I'll say this: part of the Boston thing was when KG blew out his knee. Like that changed everything. You know what I'm saying? They were still a solid competitive team, but KG wasn't never the same no more after that either. I ain't got nothing for him with the Clippers. Like I know it was a lot of injuries and whatever the case may be, but after a while, I don't want to hear that shit no more after a while.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, when are we going to judge him off of what he did with the teams that was
the 3-1 leagues?
Yeah, like
he done blew what, like 4 3-1 leads or some shit like that.
Like that. They said the most in history as a coach.
I personally experienced one of them when they had us down 3-1. You know what I'm saying? When he was in Orlando and T-Mac was going crazy. You know what I'm saying?
For that shit because that was the birth of Tayshaun.
The Tayshaun, yeah. They finally set Michael Curry old ass down and put Tayshaun.
Tell me how I went to Google how many 3-1 leads before I could even say it. The first one that comes up with how many 3-1 leads has Doc Rivers blown. I don't know if you can see it. Right here. It's the first one.
Stop. I can't stand Doc Rivers, man. He need to worry about his throat health. Pause. But he just sounded crazy. Yo, Mike, remember when he said he had a throat doctor?
Be hoarse in the preseason. He be hoarse in the preseason, dog. I be like, why he always yelling so much?
He's
all that yelling and producing.
All that yelling.
Saying coaches that do a lot of yelling. Angry coach that wasn't a championship winner outside of Doc Rivers.
If you compare all the stars that Doc Rivers had in his career and one championship, you'll start thinking about like the DEIs, man. You know what I'm saying? The diversity, equity, and inclusion. You're like, come on, dog. You had all these opportunities to win the championship. Are you kidding me?
Hey, no, look, I ain't gonna do that. So did George Karl. You know what I'm saying? George Karl got, you know what I mean, a bunch of jobs after he fumbled the bag against the Bulls. Like it's, you know,
that is a fact. That is a fact. But no, I don't think he's a Hall of Fame coach, in my opinion. Just overall, I think he's overrated.
Shout out to
him or George Karl.
Shout out to the real MVP.
Fuck George Karl straight up and down.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, overall, I can't stand George Karl.
Doc, but y'all know how I feel about Boston, but I ain't mad at giving him a black man pass. If he get in, I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? I I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna stump my feet about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, shout out to the real MVP, his wife, for having to listen to that voice for all those years.
And his kids too.
Man.
Oh man, that's the worst. Yep.
All right,
Shit,
boys.
he sound like Red Auerbach, like he be smoking stogies all day.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. That sounds
You probably
crazy.
do. You know that's the type of cat he is. Y'all seen the clip shit on Hulu. they made Doc Rivers kind of forgot where he came from type of.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's get into the list. I'm gonna start off with my list, I ain't gonna lie, it's really based on things I've seen. So I do really because I've seen some great guards in my opinion over my lifetime. But I do have two honorable mentions here. One is Manu Ginobili.
Okay.
And the other one is Richard Hamilton. I was always a big fan of him through those Detroit days, man, because that man was talk about moving without the ball. You put moving without the ball in the dictionary, and it was him. And that man was everywhere. So those are my honorable mentions.
Reggie. He got it from Reggie.
Oh, yeah.
He picked it up off of Reggie and continued it, and then it's a lost art now.
Absolutely.
I mean, Steph still do it, but it's more so to shoot threes. Shea got a mid-range game, but I don't think it's the same type of game as Reggie and Rip played. It's more so kind of ISO, kind of Jordan-esque a little bit.
Absolutely. So for me, number 10, this man, I wish he, and it's even still hard to put him here, but it's like 10-1 and 10-2, but one is Tracy McGrady. I just really wish he could have had a more of a less injuries. And I got Vince Carter. I loved me some VC, baby. I loved VC.
You said Vince Carter at 10?
T-Mac and Vince Carter, the cousins at 10.
You got them tied. You got them both at 10. Okay, T-Mac, Vince.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 10 for me. I hate to do this because he sucks in the playoffs, but I respect him. I got James Harden.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
I do have no honorable mentions. No, I don't.
Okay. T-Mac and Vince will not be on my list because I think of them more as small forwards, and that's part of why I was, you know what I mean, having a conversation about having kind of that swing list. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we know they both play both. You know what I mean? But I see them more as like wings than traditional quote unquote shooting guards. My honorable mentions: Rip, Manu. Even though it's fuck San Antonio all day, Manu could have scored a bunch of more points and got more playing time for a lot of different teams, made more All-Star games, all of that. But he sacrificed for the team and won chips for it. But I recognize his game as much as I can't stand his ass. George Gervin, Allen Houston, Eddie Jones, my guy. And then one of my favorite players who don't really get no love like that, and I almost put him at 10, Mitch Richmond. He just was in Sacramento for so long that he never really got a chance to put his game on display in the playoffs, even though he won a chip with the Lakers as a bench player. My number 10 is James Harden. And just talent, skill wise, all of that, he would probably be higher up the list. But just all the failures that I've seen in the play, like just fake plants in the playoffs, I can't put him any higher than number 10.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
My
number 9. My number 9 is James Harden.
Okay. My number 9. I really hate to do this because I couldn't stand his ass as a kid. But you gotta respect him because he was super clutch. Reggie Miller.
Hey, keep this order going too, y'all. Like how y'all
Yeah.
doing it. Mike
Yep.
Rides Will.
Okay.
Yep. My number 9 is Joe Dumars. Came out of college as a point guard, moved to the shooting guard to play next to Isaiah. Isaiah retired. He slid back to back to point guard, played next to Allen Houston, Jerry Stackhouse, and Grant Hill. Finals MVP as well. Made 5 All-Star games, Hall of Famer. Number 9, I got Joe D.
Okay. Mike, go for it.
8.
Number 8, I got Reggie Miller.
Okay.
Go ahead, Rod.
All right. Number 8. I just tie. I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it because I respect him as a legend. I got Joe Dumars and I got Ray Allen. Number 8.
Tie.
Yeah.
At number 8, I got Clay. Yeah, for all the reasons that Clay, playoff Clay, 8 dribble Clay, you know what I'm saying? Game 6 Clay. I got Clay at number 8.
Mm-hmm. What are we on, 7 now?
Yep.
7.
Yep.
7 is a tie. Because like I said, up here people don't give Detroit a lot of respect, but I couldn't not have either one of these guys on here. I got Ray Allen and Joe Dumars tied.
Okay. Number 7. I didn't get an opportunity to watch him while he played because I wasn't born yet. But I've watched a lot of his highlights. I watched a lot of his game as a kid growing up. I got George Gervin as number 7.
At number 7, I got Reggie. Didn't really play with another Hall of Famer like that. Had a lot of good talent around him. Rick Smits, Mark Jackson, Antonio Davis, Dale Davis, Jalen. But did a lot more with less than I think he get credit for, especially as a dude who was a 3-point shooter in a time where nobody else was really shooting threes like that.
Mm-hmm.
So got a lot of respect for Reggie. That's my number 7.
All right. We're on 6. Number 6 goes to the king of the 3-point shot up until recently for me, Ray Allen.
Oh, you just had put Ray and Joe D at 7.
At 7, yeah.
Right. Oh shit. Hold on up. That was my mistake because I made a change. So 6, right? We're at.
Yep, 6.
Okay, 6. Okay, I'm sorry. Klay Thompson. I'm sorry.
Okay. Even though he was a point guard, I was gonna put Klay in this position, but I know that he was listed as a shooting guard most of the time. That's Allen Iverson. I got him as number 6.
At number 6, I got Jesus Shuttlesworth, Ray Allen. Not only one of the best shooters of all time, but if anybody remember young Ray, he had handles, he had bounce, and he would dunk on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Milwaukee Ray, you know what I'm saying?
Another animal.
Fresh out of the UP. Fresh out of the UP.
Man, people forget about Milwaukee Ray sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
With the fade that we would now consider a Timmy.
Yeah, Ray is there. I got Ray at number 6. And we gotta mention it. Nobody mentioned it. The fucking corner 3 in the 2013. I think that was. You know what I'm saying? Like, You know,
Hell
Jay
yeah.
LeBron's ass.
Mhm.
People don't really realize how big of a shot that is. And I'm sorry, it's not hate, it's truth. How big of a shot that is in the legacy of LeBron James. People don't
Absolutely.
understand that was a game 6 and it was over if Ray Allen don't hit that shot. It's 4-2 if Ray Allen don't hit that shot. It's over. That might have damn near destroyed LeBron's legacy. He might not have bounced back from that. He may not have bounced back from that.
I think it's as important to his legacy as John Paxson on the wing is to MJ's legacy. Because if people forget, like that was a really competitive series, and they could have lost that series too. I'll put them up there just a little more for Ray because them niggas was trying to set up the motherfucking. They was trying to bring out the. You know what I'm saying? They was bringing out the ropes and everything, trying to block everything off. But yeah,
The champagne was on ice, baby.
yeah, most definitely.
Hell yeah.
So that was 6, right? Yep.
Yeah, that was 6. Y'all on 5 now.
All right, 5, man. You know, he never won a chip, but got to give Clyde the Glide his respect. Drexler.
Oh, he
Clyde
got a chip.
did win the chip.
Yeah, he won. He won with Houston. He won with Houston the second year. He won with Houston in '95. He didn't win with Portland. He lost twice in the finals with Portland. Yeah,
Okay.
he lost to the Pistons and lost to the Bulls, but he won one with Houston.
I didn't realize he was on that team. Okay. So that was oversight on my part.
Big part of that.
They traded for him halfway through the season. That was like they rushed. That was like they sheet move. You know what I'm saying? Because they ended up being the 6th seed that year. They was the lowest seed to win an NBA championship. I think they still are the lowest seed to win the NBA championship, and the only team to win the NBA championship without home court advantage in any round. So yeah, he was kind of the juice in the middle of the season for them.
Okay.
Right.
Hey,
He said
I didn't know that.
That was 5, right?
That was my 5. Yep, Clyde the Glide.
Yeah,
okay.
Number 5, I got Clyde as well. One of my favorite shooting guards of all time.
At 5, I got AI. Don't make no sense. I know they listed him at 6 feet or 6'1". AI probably 5'9", 5'10". Played in the era of the Giants, the Shaqs, the Dikembes, the Elijah Wans, the you know what I'm saying, like all them dudes, the Lonzo Mornings, and all the guys that came through there, and the power forwards, the KGs, the Webbers, the Dirks, played in the era of the Giants, man, and just dominated the way that he did, bro. No, he only made one finals and lost, or whatever the case may be, but just like on some pound for pound shit, you know what I mean? Gotta be high up on this list. That's my number 5. AI.
I respect it because what AI was able to do in the I would say transitioning from the golden era to the millennial era, he played in both of those eras. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got drafted in '96, so he played the tail end of the golden era, transitioning into the millennial era. And like you just said, the competition, the bigs, man, like Ewan and all the crew, and like some of them was at the tail end of their career, but they was still giving buckets and playing defense.
Baker, Sheet, Wallace, Antonio McDyess, Brian Grant, Dale Davis, Antonio, like, you know what I'm saying? It was
and those just the young bulls.
Man.
So yeah, I respect it.
Well, number 4.
Number 4.
It's got to be AI. Not only was alluding to everything you said, but he didn't care about what anyone thought. Like, he was going to be who he was. Like, you know, like they didn't want him to be the face of the league. But low key, there was a moment in time, he was the face of the league, whether they liked it or not. He just brought something to the game culturally that no one else ever provided before and ever since hasn't. You know, I really wish he could have won that eluded championship, but AI was definitely that dude.
Number 4 for me, I gotta go with D Wade. D Wade's that dude, man.
Raj, you real low. I hear you. I heard that you said D Wade, but something happening with your sound where you like real low.
I don't know. Probably my mic. No, I said D Wade number 4.
There we go.
Just to bring it back to AI real quick. AI and Kobe defined the post Jordan era. You know what I'm saying? In different ways. And as dominant as Shaq was, and as dominant as Tim Duncan was, it wasn't them. AI and Kobe kind of created the culture moving forward. You know what I'm saying? As much as the NBA didn't want either one of them to, because the NBA wasn't excited about high school players coming into the league in 95 and 96. Yeah. You know what I mean? They both defied the odds and became icons. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the Mamba mentality, whether it's the tattoos, and you know what I mean, being able to like all of that matters too.
Going back to the beginning of the hatred of AI was the whole court case and him being locked up.
Right.
About all of that. About them coming to get him out to play at Georgetown and shit. AI was the Tupac of the NBA, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
AI was the Tupac of the NBA. They went and got him out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
My number 4, I feel like it's kind of underrated. Clyde the Glide. Took that L to the Pistons, took that L to Mike, and Mike had him looking bad out there, but it ain't as bad as people remember. Like Clyde was balling that series. It's just Mike was doing Mike shit. You know what I'm saying? Hitting 6 threes.
He wanted to outdo him.
Yeah, exactly. Mike was trying to prove a point. Yeah, Mike was proving his point. But again, he did lead 2 teams to the finals, even though he lost to better teams. You know what I mean? And then wound up getting his chip with Houston too. I feel like I don't feel like he really get the proper respect that he deserved from most people. But definitely Clyde in my number 4.
Yeah, and I think real the caveat to throw in there with Clyde, I think it can be argued that when he won with Houston, they beat a better team.
Yeah. Oh, when they beat Orlando? Yeah. You play that series 10 times, Orlando might win it 6.
That's what I'm saying. It was a psyche thing, but they beat the better team.
Especially once Nick missed all them free throws. I think that crushed everybody.
Yep. That's why I say it was a psyche thing. They choked. Wasn't ready for the moment just yet.
Number 3.
So we number 3, right?
Yep.
Number 3. Number 3 for me, let me tell you, is I don't care what no one says ever. You will not convince me that this man did not have the greatest NBA Finals play of all time. This man was down 0-2. He put the Miami Heat on his back in 2006 and said, "Fuck you, Dirk." That cat, Dwayne Wade, DW3, number 3.
Who?
D-Wade.
Oh, okay. Number 3 for me, even though I once again didn't witness this guy play, but I watched a lot of his highlights and I respect what he did for the NBA. He's the logo, Jerry West, number 3.
Okay.
I also have Jerry West at number 3. Like Raj said, the logo, that again, like that matters. You know what I'm saying? That's a pretty big fucking deal. I know he got the stats too. Look, he another one of them swing guys. You know what I mean? He was point guard and shooting guard, but from all of my study, I hear mostly about him playing the shooting guard. But no, he only got one championship, quote unquote, or whatever, but he was going up against a stacked team every year. You know what I mean? I can't necessarily hold that against him for just losing to a superior team.
I just want to know for the people who don't know, what was that finals record?
1-7, I think it is.
It's 1-8.
1-8, yeah. Playing against a team that got like 5 Hall of Famers. You know what I'm saying?
One of those 8 losses
1-8 is 1-8.
MVP. Hey, you're right. He won the first finals MVP, the very first finals MVP. He won it in spite of the fact that he lost because everybody knew he was the best player on the court. That means something. You know what I'm saying? I can't be mad at somebody for losing to. I can't be mad at somebody for losing to what almost everybody considers to be a superior team. Like that shit happened to the best of them. You know what I'm saying? Mike lost. Mike. Everybody want to run a 6-0 for Mike, but he played 15 years. What happened to the other 9 years? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, sometimes you lose to a better team. But
You
yeah, I
lost
got
a lot
Jerry.
to a better team. 8 times? That's a lot of L's.
Mike lost 9 times to a better team. It just wasn't in the finals. Look, I give you more credit for losing in the finals than losing in the first round the first 3 years of your career, or losing to Cleveland in the second round, or not even making the playoffs with Washington.
Well,
You get a lot more credit from me for losing in the finals than you do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just me. That's just me.
The reason I say that is for people who may be watching who criticize LeBron for 4 and 6. You know,
right.
That's what I'm getting at. You know,
Yeah,
not specifically you. You know,
no, we on the same page with that.
You know,
yeah, we on the same page with that.
At the end of the day, we gotta look at it. 1 and 8 is 1 and 8, and 4 and 6 is still better than 1 and 8. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But he is the logo, respectfully.
Hey, look, to me, 4 and 6 is better than 3 and 2. That's what Larry Bird finals record, right? 3 and 2. I'll take 4 and 6 over 3 and 2. Because I mean, I won one more, and I still made it more than you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, West is my number 3. So we got number 2 next up, right?
Yeah. What was your number 3, Raj?
Jerry West.
Jerry West.
Oh, okay.
Jerry, we both had West at 3. Yep, and you had Wade at 3.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure if everyone's 2 and 1 ain't the same, I'm logging out for a month. like you know, we already know 5 championships gone too soon. When you talk about just having a mentality that will never be replicated in any sport by any player ever, you can't not put the late great Kobe Bryant.
Yep. Same here. Kobe.
Everyone has Kobe at you.
Go ahead, Rod. You got it.
Yeah. I got him at 2. Him at 2.
At number 2, I have Dwayne Wade. And I'm just leave that right there.
The show's over, everyone. Good night.
No, you got it. Look, you got to hear me out. You got to hear me out.
No.
Wait. Okay, so look. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my number 2 and my number 1 space right now. Okay. My time for both of these. I'm about to use them both, and you'll feel a lot better about this when I'm done, Mike. My number one is a tie between Michael Jeffrey Jordan and Kobe Bean Bryant. Okay. I grew up watching Mike. I had the 1s, I had the 2s, I had the 3s. Around the 5s is when he started talking crazy about my Pistons. I had the Jordan Jammer and all that shit. Played Jordan versus Bird, all that good shit. And when he started talking crazy about my Pistons, I kind of had to, you know what I mean? All right, we ain't family no more. I can't rock with you like that no more. Then when I turned 14, my freshman year of high school, Kobe Bean Bryant was drafted to the league, and it felt like my growth in life and as well as my basketball growth coincided with his career. I've even, it's crazy, for the longest time, people was dogging my guy and wasn't a fan of his, and they said he was selfish and he was arrogant and this and that and the other. And then at some point, people was kind of like, oh, damn. Like, no, Kobe is really that guy. And I knew it the whole time. I was with him the whole time. So I have MJ and Kobe, 1A, 1B, however you want to flip-flop that, don't matter to me. And D Wade is my number 2.
Okay. You know, I'm not fully on board with it, but I'm not fully against it either. But damn it, That take is if Max Kellerman and Skip Bayless had a child together. That's what that take felt like.
Exactly, because I be on my fuck Skip shit, and I'll rock with like, damn, you don't even know how good an analogy that was. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't call Skip the MJ of his. I wouldn't call Skip the MJ. I wouldn't go that far, but fair analysis though. Fair analysis.
Skip, listen, anyone who knows me knows there's 3 people in all of TV I despise on life. Number 3 is Nick Wright. He's a fucking idiot, and he shouldn't be.
I can't stand Nick Wright. I can't stand that big fat face white boy.
And he shouldn't be on TV. Number 2, I make a status about him every year, week 1, the Sunday night game, that says, I hate Chris Collinsworth. Like,
I can't stand that motherfucker.
To me, my hatred for him is almost as bad as Draymond Green. Almost. Almost. Like the Draymond hate is special. Special. Like, real special. But number 1, more than anyone on the face of this planet, he needs to be killed and burned alive. And this is just me, not my co-host. So this is just me.
Views that are expressed on this podcast.
Skip Bayless. Oh my God, do I hate that man? I have hated him since the beginning of my life watching sports. Oh my God. I'm just glad he's not on TV every day anymore. But it's like, bro, shut up. No one likes you. Still talking on social media. Shut up. For the love of God. Oh my God, it gives me a headache. I hate that.
Only thing I will say about Skip is he was wise enough to capitalize on all the vitriol that, you know what I mean? He recognized that being a polarizing personality was, like, you know what I mean? He turned it into a whole thing, and that's who he is. I don't like it. You know what I mean? Skip be saying some dumb shit. Yeah, when he wrong, it ain't never his fault either. It's always, my guys that I was talking to, they gave me bad information, and you know what I'm saying? Like I can't stand that motherfucker.
Listen, after what happened with him and Shannon Sharp on Undisputed that day, we were talking about Tom Brady. That's when, like, the little bit of respect I had for him was just nothing. Like, no, you sat out there.
I was out before he left ESPN. I was out before Fox Sports Network. I was already out on him. I heard the last thing I really remember listening to him say, like, when I was fully not invested in him, but in the show, when the Patriots traded for Randy Moss, and he sat up there and said, it was 2 things. He sat up there and said, well, Randy Moss done lost a step, and Randy Moss ain't this and that no more. I don't know why the Patriots is doing this. And it's like, no, if he was really watching football at the time, Randy Moss hadn't lost a step. The Oakland Raiders were god fucking awful. I remember watching Aaron Brooks was their quarterback at the time. That motherfucker got sacked like 9 times in one game or some shit, like something crazy that only happened on Madden. You know what I'm saying? on rookie mode. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, you damn right he ain't out there running routes like that no more, because that, as a receiver, you dependent on the line. You more dependent than anybody. You need the line and the quarterback to make the proper, you need the line, the block, and he said all that shit. And I'm like, okay, clearly he don't know what the hell he's talking about. And then he said that Blake Griffin was going to be a 14-8 guy. It was like, what? And when he was wrong, it was all the scouts that I talked to, you know what I mean? They gave me bad information. And it's like, no, motherfucker, you don't get to do that. You the one came out here and said it. You know what I mean? You the one who put it out there. Stephen A. do that bullshit too. Oh, well, the OGs that I talked to, this is what they told me. This is what they said. And it's like, well, if that motherfucker played in 1968, I don't want to hear what the fuck he got to say about what's happening in 2026, because it ain't the same thing. You know what I'm saying? They all be trying to spin it.
Be careful. Be careful now. That's Mike's. That's his God.
Who? Stephen A. That's your people like that, Mike.
Oh yeah, I can mess with Stephen A. Not as much as I used to, because like now I feel like that with everything else he does between his show and the political show he does, that he's brought a lot of politicalness into it. Like it was always there, but there's more of it now. I still watch, but listen.
I feel like he went full blown Skip, just in a little different way. Like he just started leaning into, you know what I'm saying, the caricature of himself. Because even you will hear the athletes say that, oh, him in person is a different person than what you see on TV. And I get it. It's entertainment. You know what I mean? But I feel like he ended up going full blown Skip. They both became caricatures of themselves.
Hey, I need Mike and Raj number one though. I just need y'all to say it. I just need y'all to say it
real quick because my battery's like on 5% right now. My number one is of course Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Absolutely, Michael Jordan.
All right, real quick. Rod said his battery on 5%, so I'm gonna grade his list first. I'm gonna give Roger an A. I'm gonna give him an A.
I appreciate that.
I'm gonna give him an A on this list. Yeah, I think it's a solid A. I probably would have moved. I might put AI one spot higher, but other than that, I think it's a pretty solid list. Huh?
Who would you have moved down if you moved AI up?
Personally, I put AI over Clyde, but it's probably more so just a youth thing for me. I definitely probably would have had Clay on this list somewhere, but overall, it's not always going to be easy to find spots for everybody because there's so many greats. Yep. So overall, I think it's a pretty solid list, though. I give it an A.
All right.
Will, I give his list an A minus. The reason why I give Will the A minus is because I was expecting him to be the one that was gonna go ahead and do it, and he let me down. I ain't gonna lie.
Put Kobe at one.
Nope. I was expecting you to put Michael Jordan at one and Kobe at two. I thought you was gonna be definitive in it and keep Jordan one, Kobe two, but you went with the tie. So I'm gonna dock you on that one. Oh, but overall,
man, y'all be having 10th and 9th place ties. Come on, bro. I can't get a tie for the two best. Y'all be having 16-man list. It be tied at 6 and 7. It be tied at 6 and 7 sometimes. Man, come on, bro. No. I'm just talking shit, man. I'm just talking shit. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
The only reason why I say A minus is because you chickened out. That's what you chickened out.
I felt like I had the courage to have a tie at number one. You know what I'm saying? Because I debated about that. I felt like I had the courage to have a tie at number one. That took a lot of courage. It's easy to tie 5 niggas at number 10 and 9. That's easy.
Belongs to you, Mike. Damn you, Mike. Mike, you get a B plus from me today. You get a B plus. I'm gonna tell you why. You did not.
I don't agree with your 65 game rule.
No. You did not have Jerry West on your list. That's a doc. That's a major doc. So somebody that recognized.
1 and 8, baby.
Somebody, the logo who's recognized as arguably one of the top 4 or 5 shooting guards of all time, and he didn't even make your list at all. I got to dock you major for that, man.
But I told you in the beginning, it was biased to what I seen. So
1 and 8 is better than 0 and 1. Like, and you got a couple of 0 and 1s on your list. So,
like I said,
and then or never made it.
Yeah.
But and then with T-Mac and Vince, I dock you because relatively for me, growing up, I know, like we had the whole conversation with the swing, but how I normally kind of put a difference there is I just lean more so toward what you've been accredited to the most as far as lineups played, because that's normally what goes into your Hall of Fame or your number of credits or whatever. So like they're gonna accredit it to that position. So for me, Vince Carter would more so fall under the small forward because that's what I mainly see him play most of his career outside of when he went to New Jersey. Then he was more of the 2 guard role there because they had Richard. But then, as he traveled around later in his career, he's did a little both, but he's played a lot of small forward. Lastly in Atlanta, T-Mac, I'm not mad at because we did see T-Mac play a lot of 2 guard in Orlando, and then we kind of later in his career when he got to Houston, he started transitioning to that 3 role back and forth. So I respect the T-Mac or whatever, but overall not too bad of a list. But not having Jerry West and then having T-Mac and Vince when Vince was more so like a 3, in my opinion or whatever, based on the numbers or whatever that he's been accredited. I have to say B+ on there.
For me with T-Mac, we done seen him like he was the point guard in Toronto. You know what I'm saying? After a while, and then when he got to Orlando, I don't really see a position for T-Mac. I get 1, 2, or 3 because he did all of that. I wouldn't call him a 4. You know what I mean? And T-Mac is like 6'9". Like people they listed him as 6'7" or whatever, but he for real he like a legit 6'9", almost 6'10".
So that's why they always compare KD to him.
Right.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
The reason why I probably accredit him most for at the 2 for me for T-Mac is because when we seen him at the height of his best, which is the argument that he
Orlando.
makes, but he says that 2-year span that if you put him at that
with
point
Kobe, or switch him with Kobe,
so he could win the championship with Shaq, whatever.
I agree with him though.
So
I agree with him.
That's a different conversation for a different day, but because I didn't fully agree with I actually kind of felt some of the stuff that Nick Young was hitting them back with when they was on Gil's Arena. But another point too that I didn't like from Mike when he said that the combination of Skip Bayless and Max Kellerman, that was a horrible analogy. And the reason why is because we all know that the number 1 ball goggler of Michael Jordan of all time is definitely motherfucking bitch ass Skip Bayless. That dude worshiped the ground Michael Jordan pisses on at a NASCAR race if he can't make it to the bathroom because he's older now. So
I was just talking about when I said I said it wasn't 1-1. I said it wasn't bad because at some point I was watching Skip and was a Skip fan, and at some point it was like, man, fuck this dude. You know what I'm saying?
It was the transition from the cold and all that shit. Like, I still watch him on Gil's Arena on YouTube. It's because it's always somebody there to saying now that can give factual or arguing back with that then played the game like Akeem Talib and all of them. So like it'd be straight.
Well, we can't be mad at it. Well, all in all, good show. We'll be back next Sunday, I think, with another round of more conversation. See how everything goes, and we go from there, bro.
Hey, what y'all think about real quick, Mike? What y'all think about every week when we do a list, one person we kind of rotate it each week. One person do they list a week later to be graded by the panel, and then that one person the week before listens to all of the lists and grades the panel's list, and also be able to give the dialogue back and forth as we go through the list. I thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all.
Just throwing some ideas out there for lists. Like I feel like we can do stuff like best trade, worst trade, we can do best general managers. we like it's it's a bunch of different stuff we can do with basketball too. You know what I'm saying? Best draft pick, worst draft pick, like you know what I mean? Like it's all kind of stuff we can do, you know what I mean, for these lists. So once we get past, you know what I'm saying, the position specific list, you know what I mean, we still got other stuff in the chamber.
So
absolutely. Yeah, we could definitely do any of that stuff. There's a lot more flexibility with basketball, with lists and stuff like that. And I think it makes for a good conversation.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good, my brothers. Always a pleasure, and we'll be back next week. Probably the same time, 11 a.m., same place. And everyone be safe, be positive, and enjoy the week.
So I'm hosting next week, Mike?
Yes, sir.
All right. I have everything together. I'm give me a couple of days, but I'll, send out, you know what I mean? And, obviously I want to hear what y'all got to say too. You know what I'm saying about ideas for topics, but I'm gonna send some stuff out the next day or two.
All right. Sounds good. We'll look forward to that. And everyone be safe, be happy, be peaceful, and be great. Peace.
Peace out,
K
fella.
for MVP, baby. K for MVP.